Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Faster. Breathe out. Super. That's how I learned my first lesson of doing a meditation at Sadhguru's yoga training. They call it inner engineering. Unfortunately, I am not an engineer, but an inner engineer. Does that make you feel good, all engineers out here? Okay. Smile, because whenever I'm going to crack a joke, I request all of you to at least smile. Is that okay? Is it too much to ask for on a Sunday morning? Superb. Okay, this is good. So I looked at Revati basically, and Revati was like looking at me and I'm looking at her, and we both are looking lost. So I said, I can relate with you. This is the person who I can relate with. My name is Mazahir, and I'm playing tons of role today. The person who plays tons of role in Toastmaster, we simply call them Toastmaster of the day. The entire meeting today is on my shoulder. It is on me to make it a success or a disaster. Now, if you're ready for a disaster, I request you to pay attention to everything that you're doing. If you want this to be a success, I would want you to pay attention to the meeting. Couple of basic ground rules. All of you have your phones with you? Can I see your model? Can you all take it out and put it in your hand? All of you? All of you. I want everybody to take out their phones. If you have it, take it out. Yes. Like this. Yeah, this is a Hitler time. Superb. Right? May I request all of you to now check if your phones are on silent mode or not. I'm going to give you ample amount of time. I'm going to recheck with all of you. Make sure. It has happened. It does happen. The reason why I'm requesting you to check, recheck, triple check, because we have a speech marathon today. A simple distraction such as your ringtone, which might be really close to you in your heart, can distract the speaker over here. First ground rule. Second ground rule, our meeting room is huge and there's an ample amount of space for all of us to chit-chat with each other before or after the meeting. May I request all of you not to chit-chat with each other, even if it's an important point. If you need to do so, may I request to please go out of this room during an applause, finish your conversation and come back soon. Don't be like, take half an hour outside. Second ground rule. Third ground rule is that in our general Toastmaster meeting, we refrain from speaking about sex, gender, politics or religion. Now, why do we do that in Toastmaster? Is because recently I got to know the wing that my friend supports, and my perception about him changed since then. He recently told me the kind of things that he supports in politics, and he's a close friend of mine. Now I was like thankful to Toastmaster community that that's the thing that we don't do over here. The kind of thing that I support outside this place, it's something that I have my own opinion to. But over here we refrain from it. Even if you wish to talk about it, do it in a manner wherein you're voicing out your own opinion, so it doesn't hurt somebody else's feeling. If you like that guy who wears the white collar t-shirt all the time, or if you like that person who has a white beard, it is fine. Keep your liking to yourself and you're bound to have that. You can have your opinion also. Provide them and put it across in such a manner wherein it doesn't hurt anybody. All good with me? Okay, may I now request you to check your phone again and see if it's in silent mode. I'm going to give you about 8 seconds to do so. Thanks for the thumbs up. Are you all excited for today's meeting?
Yes.
Okay, that was good energy. I'll start with that because Toastmaster meetings are like this. And the graph goes really down. Towards the end, nobody cares. This meeting is going to be opposite. We started here. We'll be going this way. Okay, all set with me? Because I'm the master of ceremony in today's meeting, I will be calling the evaluators first to read the speech objective of each speaker. They will come over here, read the speech objective, and they can go back. In between, I will I will call the evaluators again in between. So after 4 speeches, we will call the evaluators to read the speech evaluations. I don't want to do it in one shot if possible. Okay? All sorted with that rule? Alright, we do have a timer for today's meeting. The time is written over here. I will not introduce her right now, but she's cognizant of making a note. Towards the end, before the evaluators come, I'll request the evaluator for the time report. Or what we can do, I will provide her with a marker after each speaker is done. If she's okay, I may request her to write the timing in front of it, if possible, if it's okay with you. That way it saves your time too. All cool? Now the energy went here. All cool?
Yes.
Oh, super. Okay, this is high. Keep it to that level right now. So my name is Mazahir. I welcome all of you to meeting number 34. Let me officially open the meeting. If this doesn't wake you, I don't know what's going to wake you up. Okay, I mean, not to somebody particularly, but I'm just saying enough. All right, let's start with our speech marathon today. Let me request the first evaluator to come on the stage, and I'll be reading evaluators' introduction when I'll be calling them for the evaluation. So may I request the first evaluator to please come over here. One humble request, this mic is really sensitive. There is a small button somewhere, and if you press it too hard for about 2 seconds, this goes off. This doesn't amplify your voice. Even if I'll speak slow, this device can take it. It doesn't amplify your voice. A lot of people look at the speaker and they think, oh, this is some supporting connection and all that. None of that really happens. So handle this with care. You can idly either take it and hold it in your hand if you want to, like this or however. Put it in your pocket if you wish to. There is a clip over here. Or tag it if you wish to. Follow with me?
Yes.
There's a green light.
Yeah, make sure there's a green light. You guys can see the green light. Akshay, you're 6 out of 6? No? You can see it? Okay. Everybody, Malia, with me on this? Alright, cool. So either you can hold it or so. With good amount of energy, let's give a huge round of applause to President of PLH Toastmaster Club, our first evaluator, Toastmaster Madhvi. Request you to please come on the stage and read your speech objective for speaker number 1.
Today my speaker Radha is going to attempt her icebreaker L1P1 from humorous pathway, and her objective is to engage all the audience, and I wish her all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now let's welcome our speaker number 1, somebody who's going to break the ice for all of us as a speaker as well. She loves creative work, exploring new things, and listen to old melodies. She wishes to become the best version of herself. I request the speaker number 1, Toastmaster Radha, to please come over here. Toastmaster Radha, dhokla with coconut chutney. Dhokla with coconut chutney, Toastmaster Radha.
Just 1 minute. This will do, right? August 1994 was the day when Mr. Kashinathan and Mrs. Rajeshwari Kashinathan brought their third child and second daughter into the world, clearly breaking the norm, hum do, hamare do. Two of us, two of ours. Little did they know that they are going to gift her a rollercoaster ride of lifelong confusion, connection, and surprises. Picture this. I'm half Hindi, half Tamil, half Gujarati. Wait, 3 halves? Never mind. Let facts not get into a good storytelling. So yes, I'm Bhopal born, Ahmedabad raised, of Tamil descent. I belong to everywhere and nowhere. I've often felt I'm an omnipresent deity and thinking, कभी कभी लगता है अपन ही भगवान है. Sometimes I feel I'm the only one here. Today, I'm here to take you on a comical roller coaster ride through a cultural maze that is my life. A mixture of Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. And trust me, it's spicier than a chili-filled sambar. Let's dive into the comical maze that is, or the comical chaos that is my culinary background. Chennai introduced me with some exhaustive flavors of dosa. Bhopal introduced me with heartful poha. And Ahmedabad amazed me with fafra, jalebi, gathia and what not. And I was always like, my taste buds are on a world tour without even leaving the kitchen. Let's also talk about the cultural maze or the mashup I've always seen. Chennai whispered the poetic Tamil into my ears. In Bhopal, Hindi was the name of the game. And Ahmedabad charmed me with its rhythmic Gujarati tunes. The conversation between family and friends were always like a comical sitcom. But let's also not forget the friendly banter. My Gujarati friends, they believed that I have a moon-sized appetite because of the love for idlis. And they were convinced that my blood was white, not red, because of all the white foods we Tamilians eat, like idli, dosa, paniyaram, payasam, coconut chutney and what not. My Bhopali relatives playfully adds "che" to every sentence, to end of every sentence whenever they speak with me. They would even encourage me to do garba on drop of a hat. According to them, Gujaratis can do garba anywhere, even on the sound of a passing truck. But my Tamil cousins were no less entertaining. Whenever we go out for eating, they would make faces and ask a silly question. Eee, what is that yellow sponge doing on the plate? They were referring to dhokla and khamman. Through it all, I remained a free bird. I did what I wanted to, or what life made me do. While engineering was a norm in Tamil families, I went for a master's degree in advanced accounting and financial auditing, a qualification I had never used in my professional career. My career started so early, at the age of 19 years and 10 months. While my colleagues, my peers were dating or enjoying their masters, I was busy calling everybody Bhaiya at work and officially became Radha Ben for everyone. During IPL, when my Gujarati colleagues cheered up for Gujarat Titans and my cousins were die-hard supporters of Chennai Super Kings, I made my preference clear. I support Kolkata Knight Riders because I am a die-hard Shah Rukh Khan fan. And yes, I've been known to bring SRK to every conversation. When everybody was busy connecting online, making friends, liking, sharing, subscribing different contents, I chose to come out of my comfort zone and started my journey in public speaking. I joined Toastmasters in October 2017. I've been working to implement Radha 2.0 since ever. When I look back into this small but vivacious 29 years of my journey, I feel life is a buffet, and I'm here to taste every spicy, sweet, and surprise dishes it serves up. From idli to khamman, from Kanjipuram silk to chania choli, from payasam to kheer, from vanakkam to namaste to kem show, From an introvert to ambivert, here is to a life served with culture, garnished with laughter, and spiced with a beautiful diversity. Thank you. Mr. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much for that huge round of applause and a standing ovation. If there's any guest or a newcomer to Toastmaster, for every milestone meeting in Toastmaster, we give them a standing round of applause and standing ovation. So this is to do with your icebreaker speech, or if you happen to break your path, which is your last speech of your level 5. Because the objective remains the same for the second speaker, it is also an icebreaker. I will call the speaker directly. To introduce the second speaker, who is also delivering her icebreaker, so the ritual continues. May I request the speaker number 2 to please come over here. Can we have a huge round of applause for the speaker? She's working with Accenture. She loves to read, novel, cook. There's one bit that's missing in it, eat, and then she takes walk. She missed that part, so I just added. Speaker number 2, Toastmaster Arpita. Enjoy the process. It takes time to reach the destination. Enjoy the process. It takes time to reach the destination. Toastmaster Arpita. Can you give a view out of applause?
Good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters, our guest. Is it fine? Good morning to all my fellow Toastmasters, our guest. Today marks a significant day for me as I give my first icebreaker. I am Arpita Kuntagiri and I work in Accenture as a software engineer. I had lived in Mumbai all my life and I thought that I was content with it indeed. I used to live with my parents and had my close friends around always. I was in college and I thought that I was on the right track. That is when COVID hit and the world went standstill. And that is when I realized that there was something that was missing in my life. And I wasn't even making a conscious effort to find it. I was in my comfort zone for such a long time that it had started to hinder my growth. And that is when I talked to my parents and I decided to move cities. And Bangalore was always on my mind. In my final year placements, I was successful in bagging a company that needed me to move cities. I remember the day, 29 September, when I got my onboarding mail and there it was written, Bangalore. And I was elated. I moved to Bangalore in November and I was excited to start my life independently. I came here for work, but I realized with it, I explored the city, I made new friends, and I managed to live my life single-handedly. But with independence comes added responsibilities. I realized I did not even have time to do the things that I wanted to do. I had started overthinking everything. And then when I had started overthinking everything. When the things get hard, the homesickness also kicks in. When I was facing these challenges, I just realized that I had to remember just one thing that happened to me when I was a child. Since I was a child, I always wanted to know what I was very good at. All my friends were getting prizes in dancing, singing, or painting, and I was here still figuring it out what I was suited for. In the journey of this, I remember my dance teacher who helped me or guided me towards the most important lesson. One fine day, after an hour-long class of Bharatanatyam, she started asking us questions, our favorite subjects, our favorite teachers, our best friends. And then she asked us a question which I dreaded the most. She asked us our hobby. And everyone knew what they were good at. And I was there silent. And that is when she told me one of the most important lessons, or she just told us that for her, it is always the process or the journey that she focuses on rather than the success or the fruits that come with it. One might fail, but if you enjoy the journey, it all becomes very easier. So whenever I have issues or whenever I have second thoughts about anything, I just remember this thing. I developed a courage to start new things, move cities, start new hobbies or anything, or even join Toastmaster for say. I learned to not give up on things easily by taking it one step at a time, one day at a time, and enjoying every bit of it until I reach my goals. Thank you.
Okay, so I took time to come over here because I wanted you to stand longer and then clap harder. Okay, with those smile on your faces, may I request all of you to please clap harder once again for our speaker number 2, Toastmaster Arpita. You know, I'm scared of this energy. As I told you, right, we started here. I really want to reach that side and I will make sure we reach there. With that, we will quickly move on to speaker number 3. Because the speech level now changes, may I request the speech evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Vamshi, to please come on the stage and read the speech objective. Round of applause for Vamshi, please.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muzahir. So today, Toastmaster Satyendra is giving L1P2 speech. The purpose of this speech, of this project, is to learn and review the basic methods for writing a speech with a well-defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. All the best. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Superb. I love that energy where you just clap about 8 times, that's it. The entire crowd. I will call the speaker number 3. And out of cuteness, I personally call him VP Saab. He is an endurance runner who finds joy in climbing mountains, loves to be around nature, currently serving as a vice president in one of the financial institution. Our speaker number 3, may I request Toastmaster Satyendra, please come over here.
The green light is on.
Green light is on. Okay,
That all matters.
Did you see with the speed that he ran? That makes him an endurance runner. Okay, all of you, look at Satyendra and smile. Our speaker number 3, Toastmaster Satyendra, Operation Meghdoot, capturing Siachen Heights. Operation Meghdoot, capturing Siachen Heights, Toastmaster Satyendra.
Siachen, the highest battlefield in the world, where Operation Meghdoot was conducted by Indian Army to seize control of Siachen Glacier. This operation was one of its kind to seize control of that glacier in its entirety. Dear Toastmasters and guests, with this small incident, you will come to know how our army is serving us and is helping us in protecting our country. Siachen is that region where the average snowfall is more than 25 feet. It's humongous. It's that region where the average temperature goes as low as minus 50 degrees Celsius during winters, where the snow blizzards speeding at 100 kilometers per hour are common. It's a slow moving mass of ice with frequent avalanches and deep crevices. But why such a barren and inhospitable land is important? It's because of 2 reasons. 1, Siachen separates out Pakistan and China in that specific region. Second reason, the Nubra River that originates from Siachen Glacier and ultimately joins through Indus River and it flows through Pakistan. So it's an important source of fresh water for both the countries, and that's why both the countries are constantly contending for that region. Siachen has been the bone of contention between the two countries since 1947, our independence, because of the vague demarcation of the boundaries. In 1970s and 80s, both India and Pakistan allowed a lot of mountaineering expeditions in their respective region to climb Siachen. And this was done to stake claim of that region, which was unoccupied till that time. In spite of that, in spite of many expeditions, this place remained unoccupied till 1984. During that time, there were two incidents that triggered Indian Army to start preparation for Meghdut to seize control of that region. One that happened in 1983. A Pakistani map was recovered from a German mountaineer by our intelligence agency that shows Siachen as the Pakistan's territory. There was another incident that happened in 1984. That was our intelligence agency RAW reported that Pakistan is trying to launch its operation to capture Siachen Heights. And for the same, a large-scale procurement of the Arctic tank, snow blizzard tanks, and other mountaineering equipments were done from a London vendor. Pakistanis were unaware of the situation that the same vendor was supplying the equipment to Indian side also, and our intelligence agency was prompt enough to conclude that Pakistan might be doing something fishious to seize control of such a region. Now, based on that intel, our Indian Armed Forces initiated the operation to get a head start. So, on April 13, 1984, Indian Army made its first move into the glacier when it tried to protect our territory and launched Operation Meghdut. Indian Army was so lucky that this operation was launched just 4 days prior to Pakistan's Operation Ababil. This operation included airlifting the Indian troops from Siachen base camp till the heights of the Siachen peaks. A odd of 300 soldiers were in no time one of the important peaks of Siachen. And within no time, Indian Armed Forces captured 2 of the 3 important passes, Siala and Belafondla, and hence gaining control of the glacier in its entirety. By the time Pakistan managed to reach to the glacier, they were astounded to see that Indian Armed Forces has already occupied 2 of the 3 important passes along with the commanding heights of Siachen Glacier. This was despite the fact that Pakistan's route to the glacier was much more accessible than Indian side, where the latter has to rely on airdropping its soldiers to the glacier. And hence, Operation Meghdut was a big success, where the tricolor was hoisted at the highest battlefield in the world. And the same could be seen by the advisory 20 kilometers away. The whole world was astonished to see the daunting operation done by Indian Armed Forces. Operation Meghdut has a dubious distinction of the longest and never-ending war fought between the two nations at the highest altitude. Around 2,000 Indian bravehearts have laid their life, mostly because of the hazardous weather and not because of the war. Indian side continues to spend around 2,000 crores a month just to sustain the troops at that high altitude. Pakistani, on the other hand, tried to capture the heights multiple times, but they failed in each of its attempts. A memorial at the Siachen base camp befittingly reads, "Quartered in snow, silent to remain, when the bugle calls, they shall rise and march again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have goosebumps right now, especially the whole last part of it. To the tremendous amount of support and respect that we have for our Indian troops, whether they are serving Army, Navy or Air Force. Let's give them a huge round of applause for serving our nation. Thank you so much for such a wonderful speech, Toastmaster Satendra. We will now move on to our speaker number 4, and the evaluation will be done by an evaluator, because the speech objective remains the same, so I will not request the evaluator to come. I will directly move on to the speaker. However, having said that, let me not take away the opportunity but to recognize among us the Area E1 Director with a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Shashmit. We welcome you to our meeting. Superb. See, we're gradually getting better, right? When I heard you clapping the first time, there were like 7-8 claps and all that. Now we move around to about 9 or 10, so progressively we're doing good. And we'll slowly take it up. Moving on to our next speaker, who's delivering his Level 1 Project 2. He's a business analyst by profession, and he certainly enjoys traveling and riding. May I request the speaker to please come over here. Thank you. Toastmaster Ujjwal, a silent epidemic. A silent epidemic, Toastmaster Ujjwal.
Okay, so the title, The Silent Epidemic. So, like a question to all of you. What do you mean by epidemic? So, recently we had an epidemic called Corona, right? An epidemic is a disease that is spreading at a fast rate. So, for Corona, I think the rate of increase, rate of spread was around 1%. But what do you call a situation in which 50% of some country's population is suffering from it? I call it a widespread epidemic and a furiously increasing one, fastly increasing one. So today I am talking about loneliness. So loneliness is a creeping feeling that affects us both mentally and physically. And today in my speech, I would try to increase the awareness about the definition of loneliness, what it is, and also then to touch upon the point that why does it require 4 minutes of your time on a Sunday morning, and finally also look at some solutions to it. What can be done to make it better. So first, moving to the first part, which is to define loneliness. Loneliness is not merely the absence of people, it is a feeling of disconnection. So one of the author, Vivek Murthy, who is the Surgeon General of US, has described it as a feeling of hunger, right? When you don't have food for a long time, you feel hungry. When you are not have drank water for a long time, you feel thirsty. And similarly, he has described it as when you don't have social connection, meaningful social connection, there is a feeling that gnaws inside of you. That is what is called loneliness. I would also take this opportunity to differentiate it from solitude. So solitude is personal, like it is your choice to get away from the society and reflect or refresh. But loneliness is involuntary, it happens to you. So with this, I think I am able to differentiate it for you what is loneliness. Now moving on to the second part, which is why I think it is a big issue and why it is an increasing issue. So I will just give you some of the facts. So, perennial loneliness is equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That is how dangerous it could be for your physical and mental health. Now some of you might be thinking that this looks too far-fetched. But if I think for myself, right? If I think about my quality of life without my family, my friends, and my community, I think the number of 15 cigarettes a day is not too far-fetched. And this is being noticed worldwide. So let me give you a few more examples. In US and UK, 1 out of 2 adults is increasingly lonely. They describe themselves as lonely. For teenagers and people of our age, the time that they used to spend outside, talking to people, interacting with people in physical sense, in person, has decreased 70%. So, in 90s, it was 100 hours a week, but right now it is 30 hours. So that is a decrease of 70%. And the situation is so serious in UK and US, just like I just described, that UK even had a ministry of loneliness to look into this particular problem. In Japan, they even have a term for people who are very lonely. Like there are people in Japan who don't even get out of their homes for years on end. They have a term called hirakomori for that person. Also in Japan, one of the interesting things I found out was that you can, pay someone to sit and have lunch with you. So that is the extent of the society, the loneliness there. Also coming to the economic cost of it. Because I think, people are not really interested in solving a problem unless there is some economic benefit attached to it. So this is US specific. In US, the cost of loneliness for a single year is $400 billion. So if you extrapolate it to other countries around the world, I think it is $1 trillion TAM, which is total addressable market. So that is how big of an opportunity it is if you do have an entrepreneurial set of mind, right? So with this, I think I am able to stress upon the point about the importance of this topic. Now, moving to the final part, what can be done to decrease the frequency of feeling loneliness in our daily lives? What can we do about it? So the first point is prioritize face-to-face interactions instead of digital ones. So just to give an example from my life, when I was trying to search for a Toastmasters club, one of the priority was that it should be in person. I did not want it to be hybrid. But one of the major reasons behind this thought process was that I did not want to spend any more time in front of a screen on a Sunday as well. Like I think all of us as parts of our jobs mostly spend our time working in front of our laptops or computers. And for recreation also these days, you have Netflix, you have Amazon, you have Instagram. That is how you recreate. You do not usually go out and play and meet your friends. So that is one of the changes that you can try to make with prioritizing in-person experiences when compared to the hybrid experiences. Now coming to the second point, which is ditch your mobile phone and as an extension of it, social media. So social media, I would tell you, is not concerned about the quality of the connections. It is just concerned about the quantity of your connections. So to just shed more light on that, so basically it is the point that they are just concerned about how many videos you are watching, how many clicks you are clicking on a particular ad. They do not want you to have meaningful connections. It is just counterintuitive because they have social in them, but that is what they are doing. So that is something you can try to reduce over a period of time. I know it is easier said than done. But there are particular apps, there are some, like in your OnePlus mobiles, there is a setting called digital well-being. So if you go into that setting, you can see your screen time for a single day, and also it shows you how much time you are spending on a single app, right? So you can set your timer for each app for one day. So that I have found myself to be helpful. Because why I'm saying this is because I think increasing social media use makes you feel envious, jealous, and mostly unhappy as you continue to increase it. So now to finally conclude, I hope that I am able to stress upon the importance of loneliness in our daily lives, how we can solve it, and why it is a big problem. And I hope finally that with increasing awareness and steps that we can all take to reduce it, loneliness becomes an exception rather than a normality. Thank you.
Okay, that was a wonderful speech. I'm using a OnePlus as well. I did not know there was an option, but arrest me if being on social media is a crime. I absolutely love my friends who send me memes every day. I certainly enjoy reading them, and there is a reason why I'm saying that. So, did you all like the speech number 4 by Ujjwal? Yes? I think that yes is more than enough for the energy. We are lifting slowly, okay? That yes was good, no claps needed. Certainly a message, and I absolutely loved it. I think I'll be following through everything that you said and done. And I greatly appreciate that you all are listening to his speech, because I was noticing that some people are making notes as well. So thank you for delivering such an awesome speech. We will now move on to our speaker number 5, because there is less number of speaker. I'll quickly complete all the speeches and then call all the evaluators. Is that okay with everybody? Is that okay? That's it. Thank you. Oh, that's it. So we are here right now, okay? We'll be slowly moving forward with that. Let me call somebody who is an evaluator for the next speaker. This introduction is very personalized because this person has taught me, Mazahir, patience is the key. Mazahir, there is a different style of leadership that you should also follow. Mazahir, have patience. There's a lot that I've learned personally from this person. Worked with her as an associate division director, somebody who's a living example of what Toastmaster can do into your professional life. Without further ado, let me introduce the past president of Goldman Sachs Toastmaster Club, Walk the Talk, Toastmaster Nutan Bhutra.
I don't know the title of the speech.
I'll read that, just like that.
Hello everyone, I'm Nutan. Great energy. Our speaker number 5, Toastmaster Piyush, will be giving his L2P3 speech. It was written L2P4, but it is L2P3 speech, which is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. Purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring. The purpose of the speech is also for the member to share some aspect of previous experience as a protege. A couple of quick notes. The speech is about a time when the member was a protege. It may be from any time in his or her life. I mean, in this case, in his life. The member may discuss any aspect of the protege experience. The speech should not be a report on the content of the Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring Project. Over to you, Mazahir, to introduce the speaker.
Much. Okay, that amount of energy you added to the previous speaker. Can I have a better round of applause for the evaluator? That's it. Thank you. That was some phone dropping energy. I'll move on to the speaker number 5 for today, where the speech level is level 2, project 3. Somebody who's currently serving as a VP education of our club. He loves traveling, so much so that 80-90% of the time whenever we have had conversation, I have heard him on his car speaker. He loves gardening. He is an MBA by education, banking professional, currently working in the Southeast Asian market. Happy-go-lucky person, and certainly focuses on living life moment by moment. May I request the speaker to please come over here. Toastmaster Piyush, meaning of mentorship. Meaning of mentorship, Toastmaster Piyush.
These bugger consulter people selling me credit cards don't even let me bath properly. It's not the call center, but it's Toastmaster Anand. Let me just see what his must be about the speech. Hey Toastmaster Anand, how are you doing? Hey, you're asking me how you're doing. You promised me a script of your speech a month ago. I'm still waiting for that. Anand, sorry, time is not permitting me to write the script. But definitely don't worry. This month I will definitely give it. This same thing you said last month. This month will never come. Why didn't you try for this week rather than this month? Sure, Anand. As you say, I will definitely try something for this week, give you a script today for review, and then we can target it for this month, this week. Will that fine? These people never stop following up. There's one more message from Toastmaster Mazahir. What is it about? Oh, my feedback of the constructive feedback on the role of table topic must have given last week. Let me just quickly reply him. Sure, please feel free to call whenever you are available. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed Toastmasters and valued guests, let me present you today few exceptional Toastmasters, two of which I just gave a demo. DTM Mazahir and Toastmaster Anand. Well, why do I call them exceptional Toastmasters? The reason is pretty simple. Not just them, but like many others, I see the Toastmaster vision, Toastmaster mission running through their veins. Do you all remember what Toastmaster mission is? Anyone would like to help me recall it? Exactly right. Supportive and positive learning experience with which we develop our communication leadership skills, resulting in personal growth and self-confidence. Exactly. And I see these missions running through the veins of many of the Toastmasters today sitting here. All of them I want to thank and call them exceptional Toastmasters. This they are able to deliver using mentorship. For me, what is mentorship? Let me first bring out a quote from a very famous person. I'm not sure how well you know, if you have heard about him. He's Richard Branson. He's the founder of Virgin Atlantic Airlines. When I was preparing for this speech, this quote came to me and it looked very simple. Anyone who provides you with guidance, advice, and support is your mentor. Very simple. And I believe these three things any of us can do. We don't need to proclaim ourselves as a mentor or XYZ person just by doing few things. Rather than we can do these three things, which is guidance, advice, and support to each one who is around us. Not just necessarily be Toastmasters, it can be your brother, relative, office colleague, anyone. And if we do that, we are a mentor. Coming back to Toastmaster, here the basic skeleton of mentorship remains the same. There are only few things added. The few things are that the person should be a seasoned Toastmaster. When I say seasoned, it simply means it should have delivered few speeches, it should have completed few levels, he should have attended few networking sessions, he should have delivered few of the roles here on the stage. That's it. With this experience, anyone who is a Toastmaster can also become a mentor to other new members who will learn from this Toastmaster. That's what simple Toastmasters mentor is. To me, I do not have a solitary mentor. I have rather a constellation of mentors. Let me start giving you a few examples. For example, Toastmaster Anand. He always helps me prepare my speeches. He's always there whenever I need him, whenever speech preparation comes. Then we have DTM Mazahir. I am also VP Education of the club, you all know that. There where his mentorship comes in. He always guides me on how I can best perform on this role. Now apart from these two, we have many exceptional Toastmasters present who I am blessed to have their mentorship on me. Next, I would say Toastmaster Radha. From her experience, she always tells me on how I can structure my work of not just VP8 but all around whatever I do in the club. Not just that, speaking about others, we have Toastmaster Shilpa, Toastmasters maybe you currently are not here, but they also keep giving me certain words of wisdom of how to navigate through the Toastmasters journey. The list is endless, but I would still like to take the name of few. One of them is present here, Toastmaster Malya, Toastmaster Srivatsa, and Toastmaster Veera. These three people definitely keep guiding me on the maze of the area level, the division level, and the district level issues that keep happening. That's what my force or my army of mentors is. And I have gotten a lot of valuable feedbacks and suggestions from them. Now, Speaking about mentorship, what is mentorship? Mentorship is not just something that a thing of kindness that you are doing. No. It helps your mentee or protege to reach at the zenith of their public speaking and leadership mastery. This is not just that you are elevating them, you are bringing them to the top. And this is not a one-way street. Even the mentors gain a lot from this. First thing that they gain is that they get a different perspective to look at things. It can be how a speech is delivered, or it can be anything. The second thing is leadership. Leadership is not just about giving orders. It's about bringing the person friend into confidence, influencing, and lot many other things. This is a test ground for them to learn all these things. The third thing, and the best thing that I believe that mentorship teaches you, is to create a bond. I'm pretty sure this bond is as strong as that something that you 10 years down the line, when you think about it, you will still remember these days as your golden days. This is what meaning of mentorship is to me, and I would like to thank all the mentors who have come to life and guided me, because of whom I am today here, as well as the mentees to whom I would be giving them, and they would give me this opportunity. And with this, I would like to thank everyone, and over to you, DTM Mazahir.
Very well. Thank you. Can we have another round of applause for our speaker once again? That's it. So they're like clapping really hard. We'll move on now to our next speaker. And before I call the next speaker, there's something that I absolutely love about what Piyush said. Importance of mentoring. Unless recent times, I personally did not realize that there was a value of having a mentor who can guide you in your personal as well as professional life. My humble request to you that do not limit your mentors only to your personal or professional, but ask them questions beyond. One of my mentors, I would like to take his name in front of the camera, is Heman Joshi, who told me, Mazahir, corporate is not your thing. And I agreed with him. So I said, you are my mentor, one of them at least. What should I do? He said, event is your thing. Why don't you try in an event management company? And the advisors went on. And I'm always finding him really inspirational. You know, without anything in return, he guides me. So I think there is a huge importance of mentors in our life. What Piyush just said, it doesn't matter. You might have one, two, or many, depending on how and what you're learning from them. It's always about learning. So learn the best, and importance of mentoring and somebody as a protege. Let's have a round of applause for our speaker one more time. I will now move on to the next speech evaluator for our next speech. This person, he's an engineer by background, currently working as a manager with a US-based retail organization. A fun fact about him is that he has this lovely combo of knowing cricket and Sudoku. I am sure, which he might tell us later, that he must be getting a newspaper every day at his place, because his newspaper lovers, they love Sudoku too. Without further ado, let me introduce the speech evaluator for next speech, Toastmaster Abhineet. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You get newspaper every day?
Yeah, I just read the Hindu Rose. Hi everyone, my name is Abhineet and I am Atul's evaluator today. So Atul is going to deliver L3P2 today, and the purpose of this speech is this is a speech for a member to practice using the vocal variety to enhance the speech. So over to you, Mazahir. Thank you.
Why I was saying about a newspaper example, because I knew a friend of mine who used to love doing this, and nothing but that part in the newspaper where the Sudoku comes, that's absolutely getting filled, whether they're reading the news or not. Okay, that was like a light joke, you can smile. Super, thank you. With that, let's move on to our speaker number 6, who's delivering his level 1, project 2, and there is an elective that he's trying. So this is going to be a level 3, project 2, elective, one of the electives out of it. Somebody who's born in Kolkata, brought up in Varanasi, a graduate of IIT Kharagpur, currently helping us, serving as an associate VPPR of our club, identify himself as a deep thinker, self-talker, transforming extrovert, and somebody who cherishes others' success. With that, I would like to welcome the speaker over here, please. Thank you. Toastmaster Atul. Eternal tragedy. Eternal tragedy, Toastmaster Atul.
In the heart of a vibrant Toastmasters club, there resided a talented speaker named Atul. With his captivating stories and confident presence, he had all the members hooked onto him like a fish on a Sunday morning. Give a big round of applause if you feel so. Now, hold on to your applause, because beneath his outward success lies a tale of heartbreak that he had kept hidden from everybody. Atul's dedication to Toastmasters Club was just a way for him to cope up with the loss of his partner, Sana, who had tragically passed away a few years back. He channeled his grief into perfecting his speeches, pouring his emotions into the words he spoke. The club just became a sanctuary for him, where he would momentarily escape the pain. One morning, when he was giving a particular moving speech, a new member named Jasmine, entered into the room. Her warm smile and genuine enthusiasm caught his attention. So after the session, he sauntered up to Jasmine with all the suave of James Bond and said, "You know, speeches are like cupcakes to the soul. And I think you have got a sweet tooth for storytelling too." She laughed, and her laugh tinkled like wind chimes in a summer breeze. And Atul knew he was onto something. They started talking. They started spending hours together. They spent hours and discovered the shared passion for storytelling. Atul discovered a person who would fill the void that had existed after Sana's passing. They would spend hours dissecting speeches, learning and finding comfort in each other's anecdotes. Despite his affection, his growing affection for Jasmine, he felt torn. He felt guilty for moving on too quickly, because he felt that this would dishonor the memory of his late partner. Then one day, thankfully, he turned to his friend Kevin, the wise old sage of the club, who said, "Atul bhai, it does not matter. Embracing the future does not mean that you're trashing the past. Just think of it as a flip phone, that you have upgraded from a flip phone to a smartphone." Encouraged by Kevin's wisdom, Atul took a leap of faith and he shared his feelings with Jasmine. But to his surprise, Jasmine confessed that she too had been feeling emotions for him. Atul felt a cha-cha in her heart, a feeling of dancing samba and a little bit of break dancing all at once. Despite all of this, though he got a sense of harmony, there were few people in the club who felt that he was moving on too quickly. They told him that this is not right. The harmony that he had just developed in his life was abrupted, threatened by their comments, though he did not get blocked by their comments. His heartbreak story grew into one of growth, grew into one of resilience. Atul and Jasmine remained steadfast in their commitment to each other. Yet, as we all know, fate always has other plans. Tragedy struck once again, snatching away Jasmine in a profound swift. The joy that has just entered his life was again replaced by a profound heartache that seemed to have no end. This heartbreak story was magnified by the cruel hand of destiny. And thus, Atul's odyssey persevered, marked by the heartbreak which seems to have no end. Yet, he stands before the Toastmasters Club, giving his stand-up tragedy. And the club members who initially started that he was moving on too quickly now had sympathy for him. They wanted the best for him. They were moved by his perseverance. He started cherishing every moment, acknowledging that life is just a fragile beauty with its unpredictable behavior. Atul started cherishing every moment, and then one day, a girl named Nikita walked into the room. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that was a wonderful speech, Atul. I wanted to get distracted with something else, but I kept listening to your speech, and what a persuasive speech that it was, and wonderful examples. Now we will move on to the last speaker for today's meeting. Last but not the least, both speaker and evaluator. Let me first introduce somebody who's a fresh graduate, 2023 pass out from Mount Carmel Club College. Served as the president and various other roles in her club. Been with Toastmasters for 2.5 years. Loves family and food. Let me welcome Toastmaster Malia as a speech evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Mazahir. My target speaker will be performing his Level 3 Project 2 titled Connect with Your Audience. And the purpose is to connect with an unfamiliar audience. But since he has confirmed that the audience is quite familiar to him, I will be evaluating his speech on whether the topic is unfamiliar to the familiar audience, whether it's an unexpected topic in his club, and how well he can engage the audience with that unfamiliar topic. All the best to the speaker. Back to the team on.
I think we can do better for our evaluator. She's the last evaluator. Thank you so much for not clapping. No, sir, don't do it now. May I request, before I call the speaker, there was a QR code which was passed to each one of you for the attendance. If there is anybody, have you guys done it this side? No? No? Alright, just Satindra, pass it on to everybody. Make sure if you are a guest, please select yourself as a guest. If you're a member, please select the option as a member. After this, we will have the lined up, speech evaluators providing their evaluation. Post that, we will do the voting as well for the best speaker as well as the best evaluator. May I request timer to please look at my WhatsApp message. I have requested her to let me know the timing, which we can roll it down or jot it down later after the last speaker is done. Now the reason why I'm speaking so much is because I'm building that for the last speaker. Okay, all with me on this? Alright, so to this person, let me first introduce him. Because the audience is familiar with him, I'm still going to read the same introduction sent by the person. He is an aerospace engineer. And I saw him coding in the back. And currently, He has an experience of about 8 years, loves to try new hobbies. Toastmaster International for him is like a bundle full of amazing gifts of public speaking, networking, leadership, and whatnot possible. Delivering his level 3 project 2 second elective of that. May I request the speaker to please come over here. Toastmaster Akshay, the portrait. The portrait, Toastmaster Akshay.
Bhanu, an auto rickshaw driver in his mid-50s, was out on the road early in the morning in the month of December. He was hunting for a passenger, but it was still 5:30 in the morning and the highway was quiet, really very quiet. Fortunately, he saw a hand waving on the left side of the road. The face of the person was not clear as it was really very dark. But as he approached towards the person, she turned out to be a woman draped in a sari. Bhanu asked the woman very politely, "Ma'am, where do you want to go?" The woman replied and conveyed her dropping location and sat quietly onto the passenger seat. The location was just 4 kilometers away, so Bhanu started his auto and started moving into that direction. But just to confirm in between, he asked again to the woman that if we are moving in the right direction. But there was no reply from the back. Bhanu tried to see the woman from the front mirror, but the face of the woman was not visible at all. Now Bhanu was a little scared. But the very next moment, they reached the destination and the woman came out of the seat and told Bhanu to wait for 10 more minutes because she has some work on the 4th floor, flat number 410, and once she will come back from there, she'll go to some another place where she'll give him the entire fare. Bhanu agreed to this because he thought that he'll get some extra fare right in the beginning of the day. This time the face of the woman was visible. Woman left and she disappeared into the dark. Bhanu felt a little creepy, but this time again he ignored his feelings. He took out the mobile from his pocket and started listening to some old songs. It was 5:50 a.m. when the woman left, and now it was 6:15 a.m. Bhanu got out of his auto and started looking towards the building in the search of the woman, but woman was nowhere to be found. It was 6:30 a.m. by now, and Bhanu was now a little irritated because he was getting late for the day. At 6:40 a.m., finally, Bhanu decided to go onto the 4th floor and asked for his fare. He entered the lift, pressed 4 onto the button bar and reached the 4th floor. He recalled the flat number which the woman told him. It was flat number 410. It was pitch dark on the floor, but somehow Bhanu managed to locate the flat. And as he reached, he rang the bell. No one came. He rang the bell again. This time, he felt some shadow approaching towards him from inside. The door got opened and there was a man at the door. The man asked Bhanu for his introduction. Bhanu told him about himself and asked him to call the woman so that he can get his fare and he can leave as soon as possible. By this time, all the family members came into the living room where Bhanu was sitting. And they were listening the entire story. Bhanu was telling all of them regarding the women. And they were seeing each other's faces. And the looks on their faces was like that they know what was going on. Bhanu told the entire story and then looked at the faces of the family members, and now he became paranoid. There was a different kind of scary look. The head of the family, the man, requested Bhanu to come into one of the bedrooms. He got confused why this man is asking me to come to the bedroom. But again the man insisted and he went into the bedroom. The man took him to one of the walls where a portrait was hanging with a garland on it. The man asked Bhanu, "Is this the same woman who came in your auto 40 minutes back?" Bhanu saw the portrait. There was a photo of a woman with a garland on it, and Bhanu was literally frightened. How is it even possible that the woman who came in his auto 40 minutes back, her portrait is hanging with a garland on the wall? He was really scared. Seeing him scared, the man asked him to sit on the nearest chair and offered him a glass of water. After he became a little calm, the man told him the story about their elder girl who got expired in a hospital which was located exactly at the same pickup point. And it has happened with other people as well. The girl seems to return to her home. The family offered Bhanu the fare, but he refused to accept it. He moved out with a frightening state of confusion. He was bound to think that how is this possible? So ladies and gentlemen, now you have to help Bhanu figure out one option out of two. The first option is, in this world, there is something known as alternate dimension or parallel dimension which is existing along with our world, and where entities like these exist. Or there is nothing like this. Over to you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. With that, what I'm going to do is I will pass on one bottle each side. If you feel like drinking water, please do. Because those speeches certainly made me thirsty to win. As a best speaker if possible, let's give a round of applause to our speaker. Okay, all of you are distracted. Can we have another round of applause for the speaker? You have heard those super awesome, super 7 speeches. Now for the time for the speech evaluation. Let me call the evaluator number 1 for the speaker number 1. And before that, may I request the timer to only read the time taken by each speaker over here, one by one, for the benefit of all the evaluator. May I request timer to please come over here, read the time taken for each speaker.
Hello everyone, good morning. It's good afternoon. Okay, so Radha took 6 minutes 15 seconds, Arpita 2 minutes 29 seconds, Satendra 6 minutes 48 seconds, Ujjwal 7 minutes 43 seconds, Piyush 7 minutes 13 seconds, Atul 6 minutes 5 seconds, Akshay 6 minutes 58 seconds. Thank you. Over to you, Mr.
Was the time correct for Arpita and Ujjwal? 4 minutes? Did you say 4 minutes?
No, it's 2 minutes 29 seconds for Arpita.
Arpita. Okay, and for Ujjwal?
For Ujjwal, it was 7 minutes 43 seconds.
Super, thank you. Can we have a round of applause for the timer, please? Let me now call upon the speech evaluator number 1. She's currently serving as the president of Prestige Lakeside Habitat PLH Toastmaster Club, worked as a senior software engineer at Western Solution. She took a maternity break, however recently became a scientist as she just completed data science course. She loves sport, being a zonal level player in Kho-Kho and volleyball, and she also encourages her kids into lawn tennis and above all, trying new things. Isn't that what we all about in Toastmaster? Request you to please provide your speech evaluation for speaker number 1. Toastmaster Madhuri.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Today I am evaluating Toastmaster Radha's icebreaker speech. The most interesting part of Radha's speech is the title itself. The dhokla with the coconut, with the coconut chutney. By this, she got the attention of all the food lovers and the dhokla haters too. I thought how she is going to deliver her speech on a yellow sponge for 4 to 6 minutes. But she did very well. The opening statement like that she mentioned that she was the third child and the second girl. But her statement like her parents are two and 2 kids are enough, I didn't feel that something its connection was missing. Okay. And the statement was contradicting her earlier statement. And a few of her statements like mixture of Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, and her culinary background or moon-sized appetite, that shows her command or prowess on the language. She mentioned that dhokla, Bhopal's poha, jalebi or idli chutney. I thought her taste buds are limited to India, but she told that her taste buds are on world tour. Okay, now she's going to invade the world cuisine too. The words like comical was repeated twice and few other words she repeated. And she mentioned that few statements like Tamilians eat a lot, Gujaratis do garba even for the sound of a passing truck. Maybe sometimes, maybe all the audience may not get connected with the speech if you're mentioning. I felt the navigation between your speech and your personal information, maybe it may be framed in a little better way. But she's a die-hard fan of SRK like me. But how can I evaluate her so harsh? But no, this is her second pathway and she's trying to improve and trying to find her feet in Toastmasters. So, please take my feedback positively and improve for your next speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, let's hear it for our evaluator number 1, Toastmaster Madhuri. Thank you so much for delivering a wonderful speech evaluation. Because speech evaluators have a limited time over here, doesn't mean you have a limited time outside this meeting. If you feel like requesting the speaker to please connect with their speech evaluators outside, because they can also provide you some more valuable feedback. Are we ready for our speech evaluator number 2?
Yes. Yes.
Superb. Okay, that's getting better, right? So I think clap is not really a good idea. I think yes is a better idea. Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Well, what a sync. That's it. Okay, be here. Now let me read the introduction for our speech evaluator number 2, Toastmaster Purushottam. He's a technical lead in an automotive company by profession. He's a big foodie, loves cooking and exploring new things. Let's welcome our speech evaluator number 2 to provide his speech evaluation for speaker number 2.
Good morning. Good afternoon, sorry. So, Arpita, right? Yeah. So first, congratulations for your ice-breaking speech. Your speech was very good. I will highlight the positive point, then I will tell some improvements. Okay. Your voice very clear, it's audible, and I can see it's reachable to the end. And the objective of icebreaker is to introduce the club. So you fulfill that objective. It's kudos for that. And your body language was very good. You use the stage. Okay. So some improvement from my side. You use the stage, but I will suggest you you move from here to here, but I will suggest you to move the fully stage fully next time. And a good speech is if you start with a phrase or with a question, so that it will help to the connect with the audience. So I will focus on that audience connect. And voice modulation also you can work on that. Sometimes the speech varies from one emotion to another emotion that you can take control, and you can use the stage along with that voice modulation. And if your speech is ending with any message, that can be is very good, I can say. Yeah, that's all. Over to.
And I love this confusion of good afternoon, good morning. I think it's a wonderful afternoon now. We have led this entire great morning to a good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Superb. That's the energy that we are looking for. We will now move on to our speech evaluator number 3. Somebody who has they say first impressions are the last impressions, isn't it? Right? One of my friends called me recently and he said, I'm going to meet my girlfriend's parents for the first time. What should I do? So I told him in Hindi, I'll translate. I said, Jaate hi pair pad liyo pehle. The first thing that you should do is go and touch the feet of their parents. They'll be like, wow, sanskari boy. He's not so sanskari. Forgive me if I'm talking about you on a mic. We will now move on to the person whose first impression was when I met him, he was wearing a Toastmaster t-shirt. There's somebody who lives Toastmaster through his heart, right? Somebody who has been with Toastmaster for some time, and he has definitely done a great amount of work with the Toastmaster Club that he was part of earlier in Coimbatore. Without further ado, let me welcome the speech evaluator number 3, Toastmaster Vamshi.
Thank you, DTM Mazahir. So, today, Toastmaster Satendra, first of all, I would like to congratulate you on completing L1P2. First, I'd like to tell what things went well for you in your speech. First of all, your face expressions. So they were really good, and your hand gestures you have used to explain the Siachen glaciers and other things that went well in your speech. You had an interesting topic. I hope everyone was hooked up when you are speaking, and you have an excellent way of storytelling, so which kept the audience hooked. And you had also a good conclusion, the quote which you read. So that also went well in your speech. The things you may want to work on, the volume. So you may want to work on your volume. So if you can increase your volume, your speech would be more better. And the voice modulation, stage movement. It'll be better if you restrict your stage movement. Sometimes I felt like your stage movement was frequently you're moving here and there. That was a bit distracting to the audience. And some pauses. So if you work on your pauses, when you tell some statements, like when you said about the Siachen glacier, like you can use some pauses so that the audience stay connected. Eye contact. You may want to work on your eye contact also. And if you add some more facts when you're describing about the harsh conditions in Siachen, You could have taken some data and facts like what is the temperature and these things. It would have made more interesting, like the audience would have felt how harsh the climate was over there. Overall, you had a very good clarity in your speech. You may want to work on that voice modulation thing, eye contact. Your gestures, hand gestures are very good to explain things. You were comfortable on the stage and your topic was a very interesting topic. So all the best for your future speeches. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, we can do better for our speech evaluator number 3. See, the rule is very simple. If you don't clap for the other person, they will not clap for you. So be cognizant of that. Let me now call upon the speech evaluator number 4. This person, he's a sports fanatic. He loves to watch and play football and basketball. He's a Manchester United and Lakers fan. He's also an avid reader, especially manga and crime fiction. Currently serving as an area event director under the Division E. Let's welcome our next speech evaluator, Toastmaster Shushmit.
I will be careful with this. I didn't want to handle the mic. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Mazahir, for a wonderful introduction. And congratulations, Toastmaster Ujjwal, for completing your level 1 P2 of persuasive influence. And also, thank you for bringing notice to this growing epidemic of loneliness. What I really liked about the target speaker's speech was the structure of the speech. I call a speech structure a 3-course meal. So what is a 3-course meal? Entree, that is the appetizer, main course, and the dessert. You started off with explaining the problem, the loneliness. You defined the problem. You explained the difference between solitude and loneliness. When I heard the speech topic, it was silent epidemic, I thought, okay, Toastmaster Ujjwal is going to talk about COVID or something like that. But you enticed us with a difference of opinion. You said, you think COVID is an epidemic? Look at loneliness. That causes around 50% of depression among the whole population of the world. And that grabbed our attention. Okay, this is something interesting. Let me listen to Toastmaster Ujjwal. So that is what appetizers do. And then came the main course, filled with loads of examples and facts, like the Salt Bay Port's fact sower. I would call him the Fact Bay. You spoke about Hirakumori of Japan. You told about how loneliness causes depressions in Germany. There were a lot of examples in the main course, and we were listening intently to each and every word of Toastmaster Ujjwal. And then the dessert. Like dessert, the conclusion of the speech is always something we take back with. And in conclusion, Toastmaster Ujjwal gave us his personal experiences or personal solutions. Not some solutions from Google, but his solutions. Why? I always say Toastmasters is peer-to-peer learning. And if Toastmaster Ujjwal can do this, so can we. And that is the message Toastmaster Ujjwal is leaving us with. So thank you, Toastmaster Ujjwal, for doing a wonderful job on the speech. Few recommendations I would state is that when you start out of the speech, it's always great to have not audience interaction, I would say, greeting the guests. You miss greeting the guests because as soon as you start greeting the guests, they're all into you. They listen to you intently. So do one thing, maybe in the next speech, make sure that you greet the guests. Your body language. You had a closed body language. You were holding your phone and your hand was like this. So what it shows is that you are closed to the audience. If you have an open body structure, you're more welcoming and people listen to you more intently. So maybe you can add this point in your next speech. And one thing which I felt lacking was the preparation. So you were looking at your phone for certain contents. I do understand this was more of a fact-based speech and you had more numbers or something like which is hard to remember. So maybe next time be a little more prepared, and I think that would help in elevating your speech to a greater level. All in all, a great speech with wonderful it was a very thought-provoking speech, but with all the small recommendations about body language, greeting the guests, and a little bit more preparation, I think this speech would be elevated to the next level. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much for such a detailed evaluation. As requested earlier, speakers, don't feel that these are the only 2 or 3 minutes that you have from the evaluator. Please do reach out to them offline as well. In case if they are in hurry, take down the number, bother them on the phone. All with me? Yes. No. We'll do it in sync. All with me? Yes. Superb. So with that evaluation, I certainly felt hungry, which made me realize that we need to go better and with slightly more speed. Let me call now the next evaluator for our next speaker. Somebody who's been in IT industry for last 6 years. Toastmaster is her passion. Software engineer is her profession. She's been with Toastmaster for 3 years. She's an avid reader, mostly reading murder mysteries at the corner of her house. She's married. She's the only one who laughed. I would like to request our next speech evaluator, Toastmaster Newton. Over to you.
And my husband is alive. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Mazahir. Congratulations, my target speaker, Toastmaster Piyush, for completing his level 2. Level 2 has only 3 speeches. This was his last speech for level 2. So congratulations on completing that. He took 7 minutes and 13 seconds. People who don't know, we have 5 to 7 minutes speech. That means we give 30 seconds of grace period to complete the speech. And he was on time, which means that he was prepared enough to come here and present the speech. The initial script, I liked it. The way he grabbed the audience's attention at the first line, hey, hello. And then again with the second speaker, hey, hello, you know what. So that conversation grabbed my attention on the first line itself. A few things which I liked were the basic things. Eye contact was very apt. He looked from here to here. The coverage, the audience coverage was full. The hand gestures, again, it was not this. He was using the hand gestures very apt. The stage presence, I felt that he was very much comfortable on stage. He can come here anytime and he can present the speech at any time. He used power of 3 very intelligently. A mentor is the one who gives guidance, advice and support. And 3 people's name he took when he started his mentors list. So the power of 3, if somebody does not know, go and check out what is power of 3. So it is like it was used very, I would say, intelligently. And the heartwarming feeling when he has introduced his army of mentors. I would like to take few names. Anand, who has helped him preparing the speeches. Mazahir, who has guided him to perform his role in the club. Radha, who has helped him to structure the work in the club, and so on. There were a lot of people who helped in his journey. A few things I would like him to improve in his speech are, first, the voice. Initially, if you know you don't have that high of a pitch, what you do is, if you are having conversation, don't talk like this. Talk in front of audience, so that if somebody is not able to hear, they can lip read. And next time, try better, try on your voice modulation as well. When you are preparing for your speech, try with the high pitch. Because if you come here and talk, the pitch automatically goes low. The other thing is basic mentoring. You said that there were basic mentoring things, but we don't know what were those basic mentoring things. We don't know. Then the suggestions these people gave our target speaker, I don't know what were the suggestions. I know this person gave him the suggestion, but what? I have no idea. So the challenge I would give our target speaker is, from next time onwards, add one personalized story so that your audience has at least one key takeaway that, okay, I will go home and I will implement this. Do not give a lot, but at least give one. So the overall speech was very heartwarming, I enjoyed it a lot, but with sprinkle your voice more, like sprinkling a couple of things here and there with the pitch, add some pitch and add some story, it would go above and beyond. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Madam Evaluator. Thank you. We will now move on to the Speech Evaluator number 6, because I've already read his introduction earlier. Let's welcome him with a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Abhineet, Speaker 6, Evaluator number 6. Can we do a better round of applause for him while he adjusts the mic?
What a fantastic speech. Atul delivered L3P2 today. Chalta hai. I learned one thing in your speech long time back. It not chalta hai, it not runs, it flies. Your speech was flying. You put your hand in pocket. Sometime I noticed, right? I thought it was alarming before. The James Bond is going to come into your speech, and it came. I loved 3 things in your speech. The first part is the opening, in the heart of everybody, and that was the fantastic. You compelled people to clap. You asked if yes, then clap for me. Everybody clapped for you, and that something was a catchy point in your speech. The second point which I noticed that was really fantastic, you took some of the examples when Jasmine entered into the room and just you walked up and showcased some of the examples. You took your voice up and for some time you took it down. It was completely aligned with the speech objective. My job was to assess you with your vocal variety, how you are enhancing your speech with the vocal variety. It was truly meeting with that. Congratulations for us. Dear Toastmaster and guest, my name is Abhineet. And the third thing which I'm talking about is the James Bond example. You gave it, you took a one step here and then say that James Bond. I think that is the place where I was thinking that you will just pick up some of the Dan Carnell, that's James Bond 007, some of the signature pose, like you'll come front and look at people and then showcase some of the good examples. I think that's the place where you could have played really better, but fantastically covered. And the one recommendation I'll have for you is, like somewhere I felt that speech was little faster. I think you could have given time to audience to think about your speech. The second part, I was thinking about some of the organic connections with your speech. Like somewhere I felt as like your eyeball was like going there, but I was looking for some organic connection. I think that's the place you have a better opportunity to play. But overall, it was a fantastic speech. I loved it, and looking forward for your next speech. Many, many congratulations for this. Thank you.
Okay, we will call the last evaluator in style. You guys all know when a MOC asks you to clap once when he raises his hand once? Yeah? We're going to do a practice right now. Only once, right? We'll do it again. Superb. The next speech evaluator is evaluator number 7. So we're going to do this 7 times in our style, alright? You will see my fingers. So when I even do 2, just don't do 2, just do it once only, alright? All with me? You guys have lost your sync totally. Like, what is Mazahir trying to do? Alright, we'll do it one more time. What I'm saying is if I do 2, don't do 2 claps. I'm just telling you how many counts being done. Overall, we've done it 4 times already. We'll do it 3 more times. Sorry. May I request the evaluator number 7, please. Over to you, Malia.
Good morning, everyone. Where is the speaker? It's morning for some of us. Okay, Toastmaster Akshay. The portrait, and what a beautiful one. So I'll be evaluating you on your project guidelines only, which was to connect with the audience, unfamiliar topic, and to hold their, to engage with them. Firstly, I think the part where you have to hold the audience's attention, you did that beautifully. I think that was accomplished partly because of your voice and your stage presence. It was a little theatrical and just held our attention, or at least mine. And secondly, the story that you were telling us, very simple but plays with our feelings. Easy to follow, linear narrative, and you were building suspense and interest throughout the story. Good job. Secondly, the VP Ed tells me that no one in your club has given a narrated story in the form of a speech before. So I think that could be counted towards the unexpected or unfamiliar part of your project guidelines. Good job. As a side note, your clarity was also quite good, whether it was in terms of your pace and the articulation. There were no fumbles whatsoever. Very comprehensible throughout. This, of course, also aids connection with the audience, because if they can't understand you, they can't connect with you, right? All right, aspects of improvement. One of the things that I've noticed that helps audience connect with your, whatever you're saying, is to have a strong call to action or a message, which I think was missing in your speech. Perhaps add that to make your speech a little bit more personalized. Secondly, try connecting to the audience by involving them in your speech. You had a question here and there, which was good. Perhaps add a little more questions, and you could even try doing this. In the question, in the end, you left off with a cliffhanger. Right? Perhaps you could have taken the audience's opinion and built off the ending in that way. Right? So look for ways in which you can involve the audience so that they feel a little bit more connected with your speech. Thirdly, what you narrated was a story about a person who has a bit of a dilemma. And I do not think that is, to a general audience, completely unfamiliar. So what I would suggest is taking a topic that either you know for sure is unfamiliar, perhaps some niche informational topic, or you could do a bit of a quick survey first, figure out if this is actually unfamiliar to the audience, and then perform the speech. In conclusion, I think you have partially met the project guidelines and very good knacks for holding the attention of the audience. As a challenge, I would ask you to think about the various aspects in which this project can be applied and bring out the full potential of connecting with the audience through various aspects. All the best for your future speeches, and back to Toastmaster Mazahir.
Thank you so much. Overall, let's hear a huge round of applause for all the speakers from 1 to 7. And let's have a huge round of applause from evaluator 1 to 7. May I now request the timer to please provide the time taken by each evaluator. You can come on the stage, please.
Thank you. Okay, so time taken by Madhvi, 2 minutes 42 seconds. Purushottam, 1 minute 36 seconds. Vamshi, 2 minutes 24 seconds. Sushmit, 3 minutes 29 seconds. Nutan, 4 minutes 4 seconds. Abhineet, 2 minutes 45 seconds. Malia, 3 minutes 16 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you so much. With that, what we will be doing is that we'll be rotating a form for e-voting. Please scan the code. We'll rotate this both side, one of them this side and one of them that side. Meanwhile, while you're doing this, I would actually like to make this meeting a little spicy, because a lot of people are looking at me and they're like, Mazahir, there's so much for the speakers. There's so much for the evaluators. What's in it for us? Toastmaster is all about providing opportunity to all. So what I just did is that I prepared few table topics for all of you. Are you all game? Some people are clapping. I'm like, yes. Okay, so we're going to do one at a time. We'll do a yes right now. Are you all ready? Yes. Superb. So I'll be calling people who have not taken a role in today's meeting. That's who the opportunity will go to. If there's anybody who wishes to leave basis on time, please feel free to do so. We will send the result later to all of you. Let's request the members of our club to take up the topics first. May I request Toastmaster Nidhi to start? She's like, no, but she'll deliver a really good table topic. Can we welcome her with a better round of applause, please? During COVID, we all were stuck. That is when I realized home where the heart is. My topic for our table topic speaker, number 1, Toastmaster Nidhi, home where the heart is. Home where the heart is, Toastmaster Nidhi.
Thank you. So good afternoon, everyone. I was really not prepared for anything today. I was just planning that I'll just come and just attend the meeting. But thank you, Mazahir, for giving me a chance to come here and speak on the topic, which is home is where the heart is. So as some of you would know that I have been in different cities all through my life. And finally, I've settled in Bangalore after getting married. So again, as Mazahir said, in COVID, we actually realized the importance of our family when we could not connect with our friends or our colleagues. It was just our family, the close knit relationship we have with them, who kind of helped us to come up from those darker times when I think I assumed that maybe there's no future, maybe now we are all going to be homebound, and the family was the only one support which helped me to be hopeful of the future, that better times would come and we can go out, we can meet people. I'm a person who loves talking to people, so I was in a different phase altogether during COVID. But to me, again, where my parents are, there is my home. So irrespective of the cities, wherever my family is, that's my home. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nidhi took about 1 minute 19 seconds. May I request the timer to please make a note of the time. And we're going to do this with a twist. Instead of doing a table topic for 1 to 2 minutes, we'll do it for 1 minute. Are you all game? Okay, we'll do like a quick rapid fire kind of scene over here. I'll be requesting our table topic speaker number 2. So for timer, because it is 1 minute, we'll do 30 seconds green, 45 seconds yellow, and red at 1 minute. And that's a hard stop for a speaker. Let me now invite the speaker number 2 for the table topic. And I have all the names over here, so there's nobody going to be spared today. Toastmaster Kevin, request you to please come on the stage. Round of applause for Kevin, please. Now there are friends who give me advice and advices after advice. Some of them have meaning, some of them have no meaning to it. Toastmaster Kevin, what gives your life meaning? What gives your life meaning? Toastmaster Kevin, over to you.
So it's definitely passion. So I feel everyone should have some passion in life. At least I started discovering my passion, I would say just 2 or 3 years back. And coming back to COVID. COVID is the reason I discovered some passions. Because we were all busy with our own work lives, and we were not finding ourselves. We were working for someone. We were bound to do that because we need to get the salary, right? But I discovered a lot of passion. Like, you have a lot of time to discover yourself, basically. So to name a few, I would say yoga is something I started from COVID. I still practice it. Then I do some sketching and some singing. This is the three things that I feel I could do, and this is something that I discovered, and I definitely recommend that all of you work on some passion and find your inner self, find what you're truly made up of. Okay. Thank you.
Request all speakers to make it a quick rapid fire kind of thing. Whatever comes to your thought. I'm your Karan Johar for today's meeting. All game with me? For Karan Johar, they're like yes. Right. Can I hear a better yes for him? Yes. Super. Thank you. Whenever I happen to pass through a road and there's an accident that takes place, I make a movement to pause and look at a person and see if the person needs help instead of being a bystander. I would like to now welcome our speaker number 3 for a table topic, Toastmaster Vikas. If you can please come on the stage. Once again, the time is 1 minute, 30 seconds green, 45 yellow, and a minute red. Toastmaster Vikas, how have you helped someone else recently? How have you helped someone else recently, Toastmaster Vikas?
Okay. So one of my friend actually recently got laid off from IT job, and I was like during my first company he was working with me, and I was not knowing. He went to Gujarat in Bombardier Transportation, and he contacted me that this is my situation. So I've referred him into my company and some of the places, and through LinkedIn also he searched, and I was able to help him in just going through his resume and little bit tweaking into his resume and his skill set, and then later on he placed into one of the company here, and that was my happiness whenever I was able to help him. Yeah, thank you so much.
That's good. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vikas. Revti, you look distracted. Why don't you come on the stage, please? Let's welcome Toastmaster Revti. Are you a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian? Non-vegetarian. Okay, superb. I think I found the best topic for you. So being a non-vegetarian, Toastmaster Revti, what is your view on veg biryani? What is your view on veg biryani, Toastmaster Revti?
From my childhood, in my home, everyone used to eat non-veg. In our home, 3 times fish. So when I reached 8th standard or something, I wanted to do something, and so I completely turned as a vegetarian. So I gave up my non-veg food. So in college days and all, I missed all the good dishes at hostel. So it was in Kannur. Kannur, it is famous for food. So later I married someone who's a strict, 100% non-vegetarian, and I turned again as a non-vegetarian. So vegetable biryani for me, what was the question? I forgot. Question? Question.
What is your view on veg biryani?
Yeah, veg biryani is like end of the week, finish all vegetables. Preparing a vegetable biryani. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. To me, vegetable biryani is an invention. To all my vegetarian friends, I love the fact that you have that love for biryani, so you eat that. May I now request the next speaker to please come on the stage. And for that, I would like to request Toastmaster Brahmdev to please come on the stage. Let's welcome him. Can we have a better round of applause for our Toastmaster, please? Guys, I wonder why you're not clapping. What is the distraction all about? Can we have a round of applause for our speaker, please? That's it. This is my paid audience this side. Now, what makes me angry is a question that I asked a couple of days back, and I realized there are very few things that makes me angry. Toastmaster Brahmdev, what makes you angry? What makes you angry? Toastmaster Brahmdev.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon everyone. So, what makes me angry? I guess that's a question for our daily life, and every day now and then something makes us angry. What made me angry today was sleeping at 3 and waking up late. So there are little things in life that we get angry about, but it's how we perceive about it. I really love to challenge myself in those terms. I do get angry at little stuff. Maybe that makes no sense at all, but I think that is acceptable, but because that helps me grow in life. I think having that composure, that patience of handling that anger is what makes us a good person and helps us grow in life. There are many things I can tell you about anger because I have dealt it in the past, but I think I have controlled it and I am still working towards it, and I guess everyone will work towards it and be a better person. Thank you.
So I think what Brahmdev just made me realize that he and his icebreaker speech is going to be really interesting, because they're going to be talking about anger issues and how do you deal with them. I'll certainly be keeping my ear open and eyes open when your speech is coming up next. May I now request Toastmaster Aditya to please come on the stage. Yes. Come on the stage, please. Whenever my manager happens to call me or message me and say, hey, how are you doing? I hope this email finds you well. I feel that's the biggest lie in the world. The one which you write, I hope this email finds you well. So Toastmaster Aditya, what white lies do you tell often? What white lies do you tell often? Toastmaster Aditya, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Mazahir. Good morning, all Toastmasters and guest attendees. So what's that one lie that I use very often? To be honest, I don't. I lie very often, but not a white lie. Let's say when I was a child, I used to lie a lot, and most of it were not white lies. Just this one which I used is, and I probably know that most of you guys are doing it when you're going to the office. Oh, boss, I was stuck in traffic. Okay, my wife couldn't cook, so I had to cook. Of course, I'm not married, but I'm just telling for you. Thank you. Now, actually, these white lies are what that shapes our day. And someday, when you keep waiting for these days to happen, like right now, it's happening with me. I get to finally tell you people that what are the different white lies I have used or you people might have used. So this is a good something that you can use it whenever you are getting bored. Just call your friends and maybe you people can chat about that. What did you do in the morning? So that's probably it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're doing a quick rapid fire over here. May I request the team secretary to please bring me the results on a chat. Toastmaster Sukesh, you're here. May I request you to please come on the stage, please. Don't do the clap when he's on the way. He can't hear it. I can't hear it. Can we do a better round of applause for him, please? Toastmaster Sukesh, is it true that you're married? Is it true that you're married? That's not a topic. Are you married? He's laughing. Yes. Revati is right here, right? Yeah. Alright, cool. So, Toastmaster Sukesh, who was the last person you said, I love you to? Who was the last person you said, I love you to? Toastmaster Sukesh.
I don't know what topic. What I did for you. Okay. In COVID time, we had pets in our house. It was a nice time. We were all in cities without, touch with the ground and environment. So we had chickens and we had dogs. So sometimes you feel the dog that affectionate or show to you some kind of attachment. So that made me to say a couple of times, I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for answering such a difficult question in a very nice manner. Yes. So I'll go in and take last two topics. Are guests ready for this? Okay. There are only 2 guests in our meeting today who are here right now. So I'll be calling you one by one. Just to make it easier for guests, please note the time is 1 minute. 30 seconds green, 45 seconds yellow card, and 1 minute a red. May I request guest Swati to please come over here. Can we have a round of applause for Toastmaster? Thank you so much. Life is difficult for all human beings, isn't it?
True.
Guess Swati, what makes life easier? What makes life easier? Guess Swati.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mazail. Okay, what makes life easier? I think there are various ways in which life can be made easier. A small help from, a friend, a small call from your family, a very quick call, anything. I think it's the people around you who matter the most, and probably those are the ones, the people, the friends, the family, who actually are going to make our life very easier and simpler, isn't it? What do you think? Isn't it true? For me, I think I'm lucky enough to be surrounded with few such people. One of them is sitting right here, and he actually helps me a lot in many ways, not just, there's no, I cannot describe it here because there is a long list that will go on. But yeah, I think it's mostly the people around us, the people in our life who make our life very easier and simpler. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'm so afraid of this. We will go on with the last table topic for our guest. May I request Mukesh to please come over here? Do we have Mukesh here? No. Sorry, may I know your name, please? Madhu, please come here, Madhu. Madhu, do you travel?
I do.
Okay, so I believe you must have covered few places in India.
No, not much. Most of the places in India, but then in Karnataka, most of the places.
Super. Okay, Karnataka, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely love Karnataka. So tell us about the most recent trip that you had and what you loved most about it. Tell us about the most recent trip that you had and what you loved about it. Your name is?
Madhu.
Guest Madhu. Give me a round of applause for him.
Thank you, Murad. Okay, it was a nice topic about the travel. Travel is one of the passion for me. I do regularly travel around especially my natives. Most of the time, I love to go native. The travel, most of we need to care about in the travel part is safety. So it's a rainy season, so ensure your safety is as utmost care. So travel is, I don't know what to say, but yes, which is very much give you next thinking perspective for next day, or maybe a refreshment for you for the next week or next few days. It's always good to have a regular travel. You will connect people, different emotions, people. So good to have a regular travels. Thank you.
I love my India. That's the reason why I asked people, I said, have you traveled somewhere within India, right? There are a lot of places. And what kind of a geography, like imagine the kind of geography that we have, right, in India. You go towards the extreme north, you get to see snow. You go on the west, you get beaches. You get slightly more northwest, you get desert. You go to northeast, you get rainy forest. You get hills. You come down south, you have those, the backwaters and a perfect weather, places like Bangalore to travel to. So if you're thinking of traveling abroad, my personal request cum suggestion would be to travel to places in India and let us know your experience right here in Toastmasters meeting. With that, I greatly appreciate all of you who came over here and delivered really wonderful table topics. Can we have a round of applause for all the speakers, please? Now it's time for vote, and let's hear it, the result. Basically, if you people are wondering that, table topics, I just spice it up with them. Today, we're not voting for table topic speakers. All of you did really good job. Instead, the voting was done for best speaker as well as the best speech evaluator. Let me now call the winner for today's meeting. The best speaker for today's meeting goes to Toastmaster Atul. Congratulations. Oh yeah, I like this clap style. Can we do it one more time, please? Like my head was wobbling with that. All right. Let's now congratulate the best speech evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Malia. Can you please come with me? May I request any one of you to please take a picture with the best speaker, best evaluator, and the best MOC. Can just anybody take a picture right here? We are posing already. Where to look? The 3 cameras. All right, congratulations, both of you. Thank you. Can we have a bigger round of applause for both of them, please? Just 2 minutes, we'll take a picture. If not anything, I would like to request all of you, and this is going to be the hardest. Remember, I said we will start the meeting here, but I'll take it right here. I think to have a speech marathon getting conducted, there is a huge amount of appreciation and the respect that we have for the entire team VP Education. Can we have a huge round of applause for them, please? Also, at the same time, we've been seeing a bit of a drop in terms of attendance. Team VP membership worked really hard to make sure we had good amount of people today. Can we have a round of applause for them? With that, I officially close the meeting number 34 for today and request all of you to please come over here for a picture.